Welcome back to the reunion campaign for Freespace 2 here on Paladin Gaming. We're going into the 17th mission of the campaign, I believe, Clash of Titans. It's either 17th or 19th. Thick smoke, noises of clinking glasses, and laughter filled the starboard mess of the GTCa Idunn. The room's tables were reoriented in a circular manner. Boxes were brought up from different decks to stand in for missing chairs as dozens of pilots and crew members swarmed the room, high on glory, euphoria, and alcohol. No one gave a damn about fleet regs when a victory over Sathanas' juggernaut was to be celebrated. Some of the Winged Hussars really let it go. Prince was the most unlike himself, yelling, dancing, and drinking like an innocent teenager at a stag party. He was nothing like the heir to the billions worth of industrial fortune he was supposed to be. Harris was surprisingly joyful as well, casually chatting with some leather-jacketed bomber pilots, a bittersweet smile on her face. Looked like she was finally ready to let Kyle go. Miller and Alpha's newcomer, Tex, seemed less euphoric. They were all sitting in the corner at an improvised table that was at some point a munitions crate. Tex was smoking a cigarette, even though he didn't usually smoke. Mixed feelings of stoicism, regret, and anger filled his face. Thinking about Deneb, Tex finally said. Ross 128 too, and Corhonen, he added. Miller glanced at his wingman, then back to the merry crowd. What about him? What he said, what he did. He got my men killed, but we chased away the Scylla so it didn't rip through the Warsaw's group. Miller took a sip from his ale, then put it back onto the table. We lost a lot of good guys, Tex. Entire wings got wiped out, warships were torn to pieces in a matter of seconds. Civvy transports bombed to bits. I can't even begin to imagine how many people got killed as Delta Serpentis was invaded. He glanced at Harris, who was clearly having a good time with those bomber boys. He hadn't seen her smile like that since they were deployed to LHS 288. Look at her. She lost someone she loved dearly as well, Miller added. Tex threw his cigarette into the ashtray. Yeah, I know, man. It's just... He sighed. Yeah, maybe Corhonen was right. A long pause followed. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't, Miller finally said. Being an officer is about quick decisions, leading by example, being harsh and reckless if necessary. Can you call it being right? In the end, does it really matter if you accomplish your mission? A visibly intoxicated Prince interrupted the duo. He literally just body-slammed the table-turned-crate with his full body mass, resulting in some of the bottles tipping over and spilling their contents. Sorry about that, he said. Then, as if immediately forgetting what just happened, a grin curled onto his face. Why the hell are you guys so depressed? We just killed Sathanas. Let's freaking party, alright? He said. Miller was visibly considering whether to slap the man or actually go and join the company of his more joyful comrades. In the end, it was Tex that stood up first. Aight, let's go, Miller. Let's go, Miller. We got a Sathanas killing to celebrate. Alright, let's continue. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. The final operation to push the Shivan invaders out of GTVA space has commenced. We are going to retake Delta Serpentis, eliminate all hostile presence, and then move against Olympus. If we seal Olympus and cut the reinforcement line of the Shivan Armada, we should have no trouble with cleaning up the rest of the hostile presence in Ross 128, Laramus, and beyond, thus securing GTVA space for good. We thought that before, didn't we? This operation will be the largest mobilization effort and combined operation undertaken by the GTVA ever since our mission to Gamma Draconis 11 years ago. Ships from various fleets all across GTVA space have been organized into 3 strike forces, Martel, Umayyad, and Qing. We will descend upon Delta Serpentis as a relentless torrent of military might. Strike forces Umayyad and Qing have already entered Delta Serpentis from Beta Aquila and are engaging hostiles all across the system. Resistance from the Shivan side is significant, however. With the defeat of their Sathanas, we have a realistic chance of achieving victory. We still do not know why the Shivans have not deployed the hundreds of juggernauts they are known to possess. We should, however, take the initiative before they do. Strike Force Martel will enter the system from Sirius, having crushed all major Shivan formations within the system. Our team, reinforced by the Neckan's battle group and assets from the Aquitaine's 3rd Fleet, will split into 2 sections, one aiding Strike Force Qing, the other aiding Umayyad. The GTCa Idunn and 3rd Fleet's GTT Themis will deploy to reinforce Strike Force Umayyad, while the Vespasian and the rest of our force will aid Qing. This strategic placement should be the most efficient way of eliminating active Shivan presence in the Delta Serpentis system. Consolidating our power into two separate battle groups will offer good coverage and interchangeability for our fighting forces, with the ability to reorganize or redeploy if one group achieves success or undercomes duress. Lieutenant Commander Miller, you and Alpha Wing will lead the fighter forces of the GTCa Idunn as during the previous engagements. You have proven yourself to be a decisive and effective leader, enjoying the full trust of both me and Admiral Togo. Beta and Gamma Wing will join your command, a wing of Chiron space superiority fighters and a wing of Sarissas by default, but you are free to change their loadout as you wish. It should be noted that we expect you to engage a large amount of capital ships, but fighter coverage will be needed as well. In addition to leading the fighter forces, the GTD Themis will also be yours to coordinate. The Themis is the Alliance's latest and only surviving Titan-class destroyer, an agile and less robust ship, armed with a next-generation experimental photon beam cannon. We borrowed the ship from 3rd Fleet and they expect us to return the vessel intact, as thus treat the Themis as a mission-critical resource and assure its survival. While you will not be tasked with directly commanding the Themis, you will be responsible for calling targets for the destroyer. We have enabled the use of long-range experimental TAG missiles for you and your wing. TAG Shivan warships to call them for the Themis to destroy. The Themis' photon beam cannon has an estimated range of 8,000 meters and firepower that equals the main beam of the former Colossus, so make sure you utilize this asset to the best of your abilities. Your main objective will be rather straightforward, Lieutenant Commander. Destroy all Shivan ships you encounter. We aim to cripple the Shivan fleet as much as possible before we move to secure Olympus. Primary objectives: defeat the Shivan fleet, and the Themis and the Idunn must survive. Perseus M's. Tag and Viper. Multi-target anti-bomber velocity, 220 range. No, we can do much better than that. Yeah, I want the Herc 3 so that I can, because it has 3 banks, so I can have a dogfight missile, trebuchets, and a bank of tags. Are you kidding me? That was trebuchet. Why can't I? Does it have to be the Perseus? We'll try the Griffin. Well, that can take the Tag D, but that is some nonsense, man. Alright. I guess I don't get to have a dogfight missile. Hang on, which bay is bigger? That one's bigger, so I want the tags in Bay 1. Alright, I'm doing standoff call-in. Alright, seems good. Let's hit it. Oh boy, a demon. GTCa Idunn from Strike Force Martel, calling Strike Force Umayyad vessels. What's the situation? Good to see you, Idunn. We've been hit hard, but we have the upper hand so far. We'll appreciate any help we can get. Well, so much for that Shivan. Alpha is the first threat major detected in the field right now, which is focused on eliminating the enemy capital ships. What the hell is shooting missiles at me? The Themis is on its way. Assess the composition of the Shivan fleet so you can tag the ships that pose the greatest threat to the enemy odds vessels. Several Shivan cruisers are jumping in. They're targeting the Avitus and the Shield. Get ready to tag those ships, Alpha. Assistant Leod ships complete. Alright. This is GTD Themis. We're now FMC. Main beam is primed and ready. Alpha 1, we're ready to engage the target to tag with our main beam. For our main beam. Copy that. We'll get this Rakshasa. This is GTCV Tonto. We're targeting the Scylla and its short escort. We appreciate you to help us out with those heavy beams as well. Short Shivan cruisers too. Ah. Further away, so bring an incoming Shivan Corvette group on our port side, requesting assistance. Wow, okay. Heads up, Alpha. Those Corvettes are launching two wings in the Hemas against the Themis. Rotate some fires to intercept. Alright, I'm calling Beta Wing, tell them to guard the Themis. Going online, waiting orders. Well, the orders are protect the Themis. Protect my target. There we are. Locked on target, finish engaging. Objective eliminated. Goodbye. And this whatever and whatever have been eliminated. One less swarmer to worry about. Bombers are cleared from the field. Shivan Cruiser 1, let's see. Two more ship eliminated, awaiting next target. Here's your next target. Now you. Target locked, engaging main beam. Hello, goodbye. Okay, Alpha, prime main beam on target. Target destroyed. That's the only target left. Alright, attack line is clear. Confirmed kills across the board. Shivan Corvette group neutralized. Reading no more hostiles. Can we sound the all clear yet? I don't think we're out of the water yet, Prince. Rearm repair and keep your eyes on the radar. Incoming, incoming. Two destroyer jump signatures on our top side requesting immediate assistance. Oh, crap, crap, crap. Damn, those 200 killers went back in Sirius. That carrier has no chance. Normandy, get out of there. Power up your subspace drive at once. Oh, boy. Sweet roller, they took out the Normandy in the blink of an eye. Everyone stay calm. The Themis will engage and destroy those ships with its long-range beams. We still have the upper hand. All units, the Shivan destroyer strike team seems to be vectoring to the Idunn next. Going evasive. Captain, we're going to try to box in those destroyers with our remaining ships. All Umayyad vessels assume strike formation. We're too spread out to effectively protect. Detecting several more incoming Shivan jump signatures, at least 2 corvettes and multiple wings of small craft. Alpha, the Shivan vessels are targeting the Themis. The destroyer is our only chance of winning out here. We must preserve it at all costs. Copy that. Roger that, Idunn. More incoming, a Scylla and several bomber wings. They seem to be going for the remaining Umayyad ships. This is most likely a diversion, Alpha. You need to stay focused on protecting the Themis. It's the only way we can win. Maybe I should have stuck with the Perseus. Enemy warship eliminated. Awaiting next target. I sent him to give you a target, Themis. Hang on. He's got a whole bunch of fighters around him. Alpha, cover me while I go in. Oh, you don't appear to need my help. Alpha diverting all reserve power to main beam. Let's have to deal with to beat both of those bastards. Ow! Alpha, get him off me! Hello! Ah! Time return complete 1 and 2. I got super lucky there. They're pulling out. Both destroyers are retreating. All clear. Reading no more hostiles except for that guy. Thank the heavens. One more shot with our main beam and the reactor would have gone critical. We're giving all we had. We will desperately need repairs. Looks like we won't be needing another shot though. Excellent work, everyone. The Shivans strike force is down, but the Decis are launching fighters to intercept them before they hit the Nimbus Alpha. Well, I think that was a delay. Such devastation, all ships destroyed, all people dead. We won, Harris. We defeated the main Shivan fleet and avenged those we lost. I know, sir. I'm so proud to be part of your team. Kyle can rest in peace thanks to what we just achieved. So can Tyler, Shark, and Vlad. I admit, Miller, I didn't think we'd get this far back in Ross 128, but I too am proud we pulled this off. Your assistance has been invaluable, Martel. We lost the Normandy, but the Avitus and the Shield both pulled through. We'll stay behind to secure the system. You guys go for the Olympus Gate. The time to end this menace once and for all. Alpha Wing, we received an update from the Vespasian. Admiral Togo's team has defeated the enemy as well, despite suffering heavy casualties. We received the go-ahead to proceed to Olympus. We'll meet the rest of Strike Force Martel there. You may return to the Idunn's fighter bay or jump right ahead. Idunn bridge out. I'm going back to the fighter bay because I am not running into a red alert with my fighter this damaged. It probably wouldn't, but you know. No, it probably doesn't matter, but I'll obey the arrows anyway. Why is there a radiation symbol in the hangar bay? Despite enormous losses and Strike Force Omega being brought out of action, I am proud to say that our operation was successful. We fought and won a decisive engagement for the control of Delta Serpentis, crushing crushing most of the Shivan invasion fleet within the system. The Shivan warships that retreated suffered significant damage as well. It is highly likely that they will not be hindering our progress down the line. Admiral Togo's task force has also achieved success. The Vespasian reports that they too suffer significant casualties, resulting in the loss of the Armistice, the Sherman, most of the Neckan's fleet, and Strike Force Qing. Whatever remains of Strike Force Qing will fall back to protect Allied nodes, securing a steady flow of supplies and possible reinforcements. The Themis will also require maintenance, but it's commendable that you were able to preserve the destroyer intact. Its firepower will be a determining factor in cleaning up Ross 128 and other systems still under Shivan control. We will now converge upon Olympus, aiming to achieve our final objective. Having defeated most of the Shivans in the system, we expect significantly less resistance. However, our firepower is vastly reduced as well, so we will need all the fighting prowess and concentration you still have. Throw a bottle of champagne into the fridge, Lieutenant Commander. I have a feeling you'll be needing it soon enough. Alright, no recommendations. Yeah, I had to reset a checkpoint, so I lost all my kills. So 77 kills with 10 assists is our total for this branch of the campaign, and that was Clash of Titans. Either the 17th or 19th mission, I forget, of the reunion campaign for Freespace 2 here on Paladin Gaming. This is Paladin Gaming, signing off.